Hello everyone. Um, that video I did for Gen Con was actually quite successful, so I thought I would do another one. Recently on Twitter, I was talking about signed editions. I have a bit of a thing for signed books, so if I go to a gaming convention or a show, if I know a certain author that I like is going to be there, I take my books along to try and get autographed by them. And it occurred to me, I have an absolute stack of signed books, as well as some gaming adjacent books. So I thought I'd just show you and then show you my pride and joy. Okay? The first one is Gen Con this year. God's Teeth. If you listen to the podcast, you'll know that I interviewed Caleb Stokes, and I got him to autograph my copy of God's Teeth, and he did. Oh, you can't bloody see it, can you? It's right there. And he's doing a little fang mouth, spoilers, Caleb. Next up is this for Rivers of London. Sorry about the reflective light. That is signed by Lynn Hardy, and she put overground. No, she hasn't. She's put underground, overground, question mark. Does that mean the Wombles are involved? Yeah, so that's Lynn Hardy. Next one. This is a funny one because I bought this at the Expo a couple of years ago, which is the Eldritch New England thing, holiday collection. And when I opened it up, I noticed something, that it had a print with it. And the print is a signed print of the cover by the author. Not the author, the artist. See there? I'm probably not going to frame it, but it's quite nice, isn't it? The next one is this is from Gen Con this year, 2024, which is the Cthulhu by Gaslight. This has got two in it. This has Mike Mason to Bud, keep out of the cellar. Okay, again, I don't have a cellar. But also, Loic Musi did an elder sign for me. It's funny because Loic is French, and I went over and he asked you to write down your name so he could dedicate it to you, and he asked you to write what you wanted. So I put elder sign into Google Translate and it come back as symbol of the old people, which was a bit strange. Another Gen Con one, Shadow Dark. Kelsey gave me a copy of this for review, and I got a photo with her, as you can see. She looks overjoyed. One That Divides People, Lamentations of the Flame Princess. This was, God, when was this? It was, I think maybe 2020, just before the pandemic, or 2019, I can't remember. And that's signed by James Raggy. So, yeah, there's that. A game that's very dear to my heart, Liminal. That's signed by Dr. Mitchell, and he's put to Bud with pleasure. Thanks for everything you've done for the game. You're welcome, Paul. There's that. I have this. The D-Sanction. This is the special cover one, which is beautiful if you look at it. And I got that signed by Paul Baldowski. And I wondered why he'd written 007. And it was Griff, from my friend who's to do the podcast with. They said, 007 was how John Dee signed his documents. Oh, okay. One of my last reviews, Knave. I met Ben. I played Pendragon with Ben at our digs at Gen Con this year. It was funny because when we put the characters down and Scott Jost explained to him the rules, he went, so this is a game that plays you. And he was closer to the truth than I think he thought. So yeah, that's Ben Milton there. This is a big one, this one. This is Rivers of London. Now this has got lots of signatures because they did a signing in Forbidden Planet that Lynn Hardy, Ben Aranovich, Lucia of the unpronounceable second surname, which I can't pronounce. And Paul Fricker, Lucia. I've lost my place now. Paul Fricker, Lucia, Ben Aranovich, Lynn Hardy. Yeah. So I actually know other people that wrote on it, which was Mike Mason, who signed it there, and Drew Rivers for me, because I wouldn't have known Rivers London. And Lloyd Gian, who's a friend of mine. And he was going to put a cab, and I said, don't put that, please. He wrote the section on the police. So he put, always be chasing bad guys. Thank Lloyd. Oh, this is quite a bit of a rare, this is actually already a rare book, Bumps in the Night for Call of Cthulhu. And it was only recently I opened it up, and it's actually signed by John Crow III, the author. He also is known for Walker in the Wastes, the Bareilles connection. I forgot to mention this in my Gen Con video. This is signed by Ken Hite and Gareth Ryder Hanrahan. And I actually took the opportunity to ask Ken Hite if he would come on the podcast to chat with us, and he said, yeah, of course. So I need to read this heifer before I get a chance to bring him on and talk about his ginormous book. Okay, now we're getting down to the nitty gritty here. So I would say these were honestly my pride and joys. So this is the Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay Collector's Edition. There were only 1,985 of these made. And at Gen Con, at a UK Games Expo a couple of years ago, Pookie and I, Pookie from Reviews from Relay, we were looking in the bring and buy, and he picked this up. And I actually said, oh man, I've been looking for that for years. And so kindly he said, well, you can have it, and he gave it to me. As it would happen, and this was a book I've been after for ages. And I mean, just look at it. Oh my word, that is beautiful. And as it happens, Dominic McDowell, the owner of Cubicle 7, was there, as was Ralph Horsley, who did the art. So I've got it with the Certificate of Authenticity, number 1198. And he's put, may your adventures be grim and perilous. We're not talking about the other Grim and Perilous here. And there's Ralph Horsley's autograph. So that's a beauty, that one. I mean, it's beautiful as well. There's this. Temple of Animal Evil. In the year 2000, yes, that was 24 years ago, I went to Gen Con in Manchester. And I met Gary Gygax. And he signed it to me. He's put to Bud. Something. Gary Gygax, Gen Con UK 2000. But that's not all. I have the even rarer Queen of the Spiders, signed by Gary Gygax. Again, he put for Bud, dark magic. He's actually right on this one. It is full of dark magic. Dark magic and lots of giants. Again, Gary Gygax, Gen Con UK 2000. So, at this point you might be saying, well, what can better that? Well, there's two things. The other one is, and I'm not getting it, is the Art by Noor book, because it's enormous and it wouldn't fit on the screen. I've got a copy of that. I promise you I will get it down to reviewing it, but I need a bigger table, so I need to do it downstairs. But the other thing that people often ask is, what's that? Well, you can already tell that is Merc Borg. But this is a very special Merc Borg. For my 50th, years ago, Scott Jost appealed to various creators and people who I like to put together a little something for my birthday, and he put a video together. And Johan Noor did this for me. See the smiley face demon? But that's not it. He he damaged this book. He abused this book. I mean, the pages are stuck together. He tore pages out, and look at the spine. He cracked the spine like that. I mean, he wrecked this book, and it is an absolute one-off. You know, there's the piece of silver paper where it's like meant to be a mirror to yourself. Oh, he just tore that out. If you want to see him wreck it, it's actually on video. If you do search for Bud's RPG Reviews 50th birthday, it's on that. But when I went to Gen Con in 2000, Free League were there, Johan was there, and he remembered, turned around and he went, there you go, and that was the book. That was the book he wrecked on video. An absolute one-off that Johan Noor destroyed. So, if you've got any cool things that you had got signed, tell me about them in the comments. I don't really get much engagement in the comments, but I do love hearing about people's cool things. And if I find any more, I don't think I've got anything else signed. I'll tell you what I would like signed though. I would like Impossible Landscape signed by Dennis Detwiller, because I've run that campaign and it was fantastic. I never got to meet Greg Stafford. Never got anything signed by him. But Dennis is still alive, so at some point I would love him to come to Gen Con, but that's not going to happen because he lives in Canada. Yeah, there's other than that, I mean, I would like a copy of Cyberpunk signed by Mike Pondsmith, and I know he goes to Gen Con every year. And I would also like a copy of the original Forgotten Realms box set signed by Ed Greenwood. I met Ed Greenwood, I'll show you the picture now, at Gen Con this year, and he was so nice. He really was. So yeah, that's someone I would like to get an autograph on, like the original Forgotten Realms box set. But know this, if you are an author and you're at a show and you do something I like, I will expect to sign you to sign my copy of it. Because I've signed copies of Viral. Although, to be fair, Alex Giott's autograph is rarer than mine. So, yeah. Anyway, I thought it would just be a little bit of fun to show you the cool bits I've picked up over the years. So, put out. I just realised I forgot to do the gaming adjacent stuff. So, there's these. Night at Dinner Table magazine. These are the originals. That's a special called Last Man Standing. That was really, really hard to get hold of. That's signed by Jolly, Blackburn and Dave Kenzer. And I have the original first 3 issues signed by Jolly and Dave Kenzer. So they're quite rare. I know a lot of people who are into gaming, like Alan Moore. I have a copy of Illuminations. Apparently that's Alan Moore's signature. It's on a book plate, but it's still a signed copy. And this is a real grail, this one. I have a copy of The Citadel of Forgotten Myths, signed by Michael Moorcock. Yeah. I have Dice Men, signed by Syrian Livingston. It's pretty cool. I have Magic Realms, signed by Ian Livingston and Jonathan Green, the guy who wrote the book. And then this is last and probably definitely least. I have some books signed by Terry Pratchett. I met him a number of years ago. He was doing a signing in Liverpool city centre, and he signed my books to Bud. And see the stamp? He had a stamp that he would stamp books with, and it's an Ankh-Morpork library stamp, and it shows that it was a real autograph. Although he didn't do it in all of them for some reason. I've got that. I've got Men at Arms, signed by to Bud. And as we know, Terry Pratchett died a number of years ago of Alzheimer's. And again, so yeah, I think that I'm not sure how many signings Terry Pratchett did, but I'm very thankful I managed to get hold of these. Okay, so I'll repeat the message again. If you've got any cool stories about stuff you got signed or any cool items, hit me up on Blue Sky. I'm not on Twitter anymore. That place is dead. Or drop some in the comments to let me know what you've got.